It is 10 past midnight on the 16th of February and it's just come out. Oh my god, I'm so happy. It's Where's Molly by H.D. Carlton, which is the next book in the Haunting Adeline series. So you've had Haunting Adeline, Hunting Adeline, and this is the book 2.5, which is like a little novella. So it's got 200 and something pages, 221 pages, and it's just about the girl who was in, my breakdown is so dodgy. It's about the girl who was in all like letters that Adeline found in the second book. I just had to show you this cover, like look, I'm so excited to read this. I just had to show you because like it's literally 10 minutes past and it's out. Hello, this is a really this is an unconventional way of me starting a video, but I'm in the mood to chat and I'm driving, so I guess we're chatting. This video is going to be me talking about the new book that has just come out, and it is Where's Molly by H.D. Carlton. This book I've been waiting and praying for honestly since December when I found out about it. Actually, it might have been November when I found out, I'm not too sure, but man alive, am I excited. It's just come out anyway, and it's on Kindle Unlimited, so if you've got Kindle Unlimited you can get it for free, and that is what I've done. It's 221 pages. I am so bloody excited for it. I can't even put it into words. It's brilliant. Like the actual idea of me reading this book is phenomenal. So Where's Molly, if you don't know what it's about, is I'd actually explain, it's the next book in the Haunting Adeline series. So Haunting Adeline was a duo part book, and it was Haunting Adeline and then Hunting Adeline, and it's all set. It's a dark romance, some very traumatizing topics. So trigger warnings are that there are trigger warnings to these books, by the way, that are in the front of the books. So if you read the books and then you are like, this is my pet peeve by the way on TikTok, if you are like, oh my god, these books are traumatizing, the trigger warnings are literally at the start of the book. So if you think that that book is traumatizing after reading the trigger warnings and you still decide to read it, then that is your own issue, I'm afraid. Moving on, the trigger warnings for these books are things like child trafficking, sex trafficking in general, abuse, breath play, what's the word, like blood kinks, knife play, loads and loads of trigger warnings. So if you are somebody who gets easily traumatized easily upset by these topics, I wouldn't read the books because they are very triggering and traumatizing, and that's my kind of book, I'm afraid. This book, Where's Molly, is about, if you have read Haunting and Hunting Adeline, in Hunting Adeline there was a load of letters that Adeline found when she was captured, and it was under a floorboard, if you remember, and they were all by a girl called Molly. Now this Molly, we never found out what happened to her. All of a sudden the letters just stop, and it's like, wait, what? She talks about her sister and how she needs to get back to Layla and everything, but we don't actually find out like what happened to her or anything. So this little spin-off book, Where's Molly, is a novella. It's 221 pages, which is classed as a novella in H.D. Carlton's eyes. It's the 2.5 book, that's what it's classed as, whereas Haunting and Hunting Adeline are classed as book 1 and book 2. This is a 2.5. So this is about Molly and A, what happened to her before she got kidnapped and like taken into trafficking, B, what happened during her trafficking, and C, where she is now, because now she still is doing something that's morally grey. This is now by choice because she is traumatized from everything that happened to her, whereas the other stuff was stuff that she was forced into, obviously, because she was sold into sex trafficking. Like I said, this book is going to be incredibly dark, and I'm aware of that, and that is okay with me. I mean, I adored Hunting and Haunting Adeline, as I said a million times. I absolutely adored it. That's just me. Some people didn't like it, and that's fine, but I love it. I love a dark romance. It's one of my guilty pleasures, can't even lie. Romanticises and dark romances are my guilty pleasures. Recently I read Powerless, that was not that long ago, and I also read A Court of Wings and Ruin. Oh my god, A Court of Wings and Ruin, how good did that book need to be? Like, oh my god. And then Powerless ruined my life. Not in a good way. I hate the book Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I think it's such a bad book, and if you want to see my full in the moment reaction, go check out that video. But honestly, that book, I haven't despised the book as much as I have with Powerless in a long time. We couldn't stand that book. I thought it was so bad. Was that on the road? It's a fruit shoot wrapper. I just feel like the writing style was really not my thing. I didn't enjoy the writing style. The romance for me was too rushed. It needed to have a bit more of a burn. It needed some more spice going on, but nothing was happening much. Number 3 was the subject matter. It seemed like it was lynching ideas from different things. Like it was magpieing ideas from different books, and I didn't like that. I felt like it was really unoriginal. Babe's just nearly got in my car, some woman. I actually was thankful I had the locks on my car then for a minute. I was looking at, her car's red. How did she get mixed up with my little black car? Oh my god. For a start, she nicked the idea of the maze, the maze that changes from Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which I did not appreciate. The second trial was boring to me. I felt like it could have been better. It was hyped up and not much happened. The first trial was just a straight up knockoff Hunger Games, the first Hunger Games film and book. The whole interaction with her, like she had a bow. I mean, come on, she's literally trying to be Katniss. She also had a braided hair. Katniss is known for having her hair braided. There were just too many things. Oh, irritation. There was too many things happening that were magpied from other books. Like there was very little imagination happening for me, and I feel like that was lazy writing, and that's just my opinion. You might love that book, but I really didn't enjoy it. I really hated it. I'm happy so far. That's a good feeling considering what happened with Powerless. Powerless honestly nearly put me in a reading slump. That was a difficult book to get through. This book is good. I'm really liking it. I forgot how much I enjoyed H.D. Carlton's writing. I think her writing is so good, and her writing style is clearly still amazing. With this book, I'm just really enjoying it. So I'm at page 72 out of 221. I am like speeding through this book. I've seen what happened to Molly, why she was trafficked, and that was really heartbreaking to watch, to read, to see. And we've also seen a little glimpse of Molly writing her writing one of her last diary entries, saying like, I hope that no one ever sees this because it means I would have been replaced by Francesca. And it's so heartbreaking to know that she does end up getting replaced by Adeline. Like, it's just heartbreaking. So we've seen that, and then we're getting both flashbacks and stuff from the present. So we're getting flashbacks from 14 years ago, which is when she was being trafficked, and then we're getting also the now, which is set in 2022. In the now, she is now running a farm, and she works at getting rid of bodies of people who have been killed to hide evidence. It is a morally grey book, but all the Haunting and Hunting Adeline books are morally grey, like that's their thing. We've got some new characters. So we've got Cage, who Molly has had some experience with him once, about, I think it was 10 years ago maybe, so when she was about 25, and she knew him once and she bonded with him, and she never saw him again. And now I think she's 35 in this, and he's like 38, I'm thinking. She's met Cage again. It wasn't by choice, they didn't choose to bump into each other, it's just that it so happened to be working for the same place. He wants to rekindle things, she's nervous, but she's interested. Very happy with the way it's been written, and I don't know if it's gonna be a 5-star or anything, but I am enjoying it for what it is. Right now I'm about to start chapter 8. So we have seen, they said why she got trafficked, seen a bit about her background, about who her family were, and that was really sad to see. We've seen who Layla was, because in all the letters she said how she can't leave Layla alone, she couldn't leave her sister there, and we've just found who Layla is, Molly's relationship with Layla is and was. We've also seen, as I said, what Molly's relationship with Layla is now. We're still finding more things about, like, what is out about that now. Still a lot to know. The vibe's good, the writing's decent. We've had a couple different point of views in this book. So we've had both Cage and Molly's point of view. We've also seen Rio, if anyone remembers the Rio from the last books. We know how her relationship with Francesca and Rocco was, and of course it's heartbreaking, but it's very satisfying to know what happens to them in the other books. It's really good so far. I don't quite know what the vibe of this book's going to be. I don't know where we're going with it. I'm 70 pages in and I'm just going with the flow. I can't believe how quick I got through this book. Yes, I finished Where's Molly, and I am in shock at how bloody good this book was. Start. So where I last left you, I said how it's quite traumatic and we've seen her background and everything. After that, we did see more of her background, with more of what happened to her after she managed to escape. We saw more about Cage and who he is, and we saw more about a different company. So obviously we know about the company that Zaid has, and that obviously exists in this universe still. But we also found out about this company called Legion, and about Cage and what he does. Cage and Molly's relationship already had quite a strong start when we saw them, and it was revealed that they already knew each other from years ago, almost 10 years ago. So we saw a few flashback scenes of when they originally got together. Not got together, but he helped her emotionally heal from something, and well, from everything she'd been through, obviously, with where she was kept and everything that happened to her. And it was so good. Really enjoyed it. For a novella, this made me feel loads of feelings, and I thought it was really, really good. For 222 pages, 221 pages as well. That's actually brilliant for how many feelings I felt for these people. Cage and Molly's relationship was explored. We saw when they first met, we saw what their relationship was to each other, like why they knew each other and why they met, and we saw loads of things to do with that. And we saw how caring Cage was, but we also saw Cage's trauma a little bit. We saw some of the reasonings behind why he does what he does and why he is involved in this whole world of saving people from traffickers and X, Y, and Z. Like we learnt his reasoning behind it. And yes, he's a morally grey character, but I feel like with dark romances, a lot of the characters are morally grey. That's just like a theme that they have. It just comes with the genre, basically. So more about that. We also saw more about what happened to Layla, and I loved that storyline. I loved finding out what had happened to her and the truth behind the sacrifice that Molly had made for her. Just seeing Molly have a happy ending was everything that I really needed. With Haunting Adeline, which is where the book that we found her, saw Molly in Haunting Adeline. Well, we didn't see her, but we saw her letters, and it was heartbreaking to see the letters just stop in that book. All you could think was, did she escape? Did she not? What happened to her? And so to see her have a happy ending was everything and more. And if you have read the first two books, I would highly recommend this book. It was really good. It was honestly brilliant. Seeing her have a happy ending, and it was everything to me. It made my heart feel warm, and I really, really enjoyed it. There was also two epilogues. So there was a first epilogue, which I really liked. I thought it was really good. And the second epilogue was an extended epilogue. So if you finish the book, scroll past all the acknowledgements, and at the very end, the last few pages is an extended epilogue on Kindle Limited. And probably if you buy it as well, but it's at the very, very end, so don't skip off if you've got to the acknowledgements. Keep going through and you'll find it. I'm so glad we saw some characters who we adored in the other books, and it's given me a feeling that maybe we're gonna get a third book. This is like the third book, obviously it's a novella, but maybe we're gonna get another book with Zaid and Adeline and everyone. But there was a really heartwarming exchange between two people, and I actually got quite emotional, and it made me feel so many feels, because
Obviously we feel so much for people because of the other books, and this book obviously we feel so much for Molly after finding out what a tragic life she's had. Like, not only was she sold into trafficking, but she also had a horrible upbringing in her family. It was horrible reading all the stuff that happened to her, but to see this interaction between two people that we truly care about, it was heartwarming and shattering to watch. Like, honestly, it broke my heart, but at the same time I was so happy that the interaction happened, like it needed to happen. Definitely achieved my expectations, possibly exceeded them. It wasn't obviously a really in-depth book, it's only 200 pages, but what it did was phenomenal in 200 pages. We have this full-fleshed out character that we barely knew anything about, and we feel for her every step of the way. We see flashbacks from 9 years ago, flashbacks from 14 years ago when she was trafficked. We saw what actually happened to her, what her family life was like, the truth behind what she does now, how she got into it, how she met Legion, how she met Zaid, everything. We see everything in this book, and I'm just so shocked with how H.D. Carlton really got to explain everything in that short amount of time. I was gonna give this book a 4.5, but the more I think about it, the more I've sat on it, I feel like it's a 4.75, and I feel more happy saying 4.75. It was really good, and at first, some of the spice scenes, which there are spice scenes in this book, because H.D. Carlton, she knows how to give us those spice scenes, they are not what you expect. If you thought Haunting Adeline was questionable from the stuff that happened in the spice scenes, this really made me sit and look at the book, and I was like, what am I reading? Like, genuinely, what am I reading? And I had to sit there and I had to say to myself, we've clearly not read a dark romance in a long time, and we're starting up again with a writer who really does dark romance, like, intensely. She's a hardcore dark romance girl. If you have read Haunting and Hunting Adeline, you should read this. It's honestly so good. I don't know how she did it. She managed to get the vibe the same as those books. As soon as stuff started happening, I felt like I was back in that universe. Just the way she wrote in general took me back there. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, but it was honestly phenomenal. So happy. And there's a possibility for there is a possibility for more books to be made, obviously, because the way it was ended, I feel like it was left quite open. I feel like there could be more books, but it was really good. So I hope you have enjoyed this little short video. I'll see you guys soon with another one. Subscribe, like, do all that stuff, and I'll see you guys soon. Give me some book recommendations and answer the polls that I just put up every now and then, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!